Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. I welcome you all to a daily quiz video for today. Also reminding you that all of you must necessarily become a part of our Telegram channel where you will get updates about all our initiatives on our YouTube channel. Please make sure you join our Telegram channel if you have not done so till now by using the link given in the description of the video. Now let's begin today's quiz with question number 1. Consider the following statements with regards to Eklavya Model Residential Schools. Number 1. The Eklavya Model Residential School follows the state board curriculum. Second, as per existing EMRS guidelines of 2010, at least one EMRS, that is Eklavya Model Residential School, is to be set up in each integrated tribal development agency or integrated tribal development project having 50% scheduled tribe population in the area. Third, as per 2018-19 budget, every block with more than 50% scheduled tribe population and at least 20,000 tribal persons will have an Eklavya Model Residential School by the year 2022. How many of these given statements are wrong? If you look at these statements, second and third are correct. First statement is wrong because the Eklavya Model Residential Schools actually follow the CBSE curriculum and not their respective state board curriculum. So the answer here would be A. Only one statement is wrong. The other two statements are correct. The reason why we are discussing this question is because of this article in the Hindu newspaper, according to which Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs is looking to finalize the recruitment rules and hire over 38,000 teachers and support staff for 740 Eklavya Model Residential Schools across the entire country. As you know, a lot of government run schools across the country have been lacking teachers and support staff, and this school is no different. That is why the government of India has tried to ensure that the teacher shortage in the Eklavya Model Residential Schools is fulfilled. According to guidelines issued by National Education Society for Tribal Students, each school is meant to have at least 26 teaching staff, which would mean 10,426 teaching staff for 401 schools, but there is a large shortage in each of these. Next, question number 2. Rwanda shares a boundary with which of the following nations? Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, this is a difficult question. Rwanda as a nation is in the news because of the migrant policy that was signed between Rwanda and UK, according to which any illegal immigrant trying to come into UK would be deported to Rwanda. Rwanda will then ensure that the paperwork etc. is completed and then UK will decide on their migration. That is why Rwanda itself has become important, and for these kind of places it is important to look at the map very carefully. Now if you look at the map of Rwanda, you will see all these four nations share a boundary with Rwanda. Let me show you the map. So this is Rwanda, Kigali being the capital. In the south we have Burundi, in the north we have Uganda. Then towards the eastern side we have Tanzania, and towards the western side we have the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is covered in the Hindu newspaper today, according to which UK's Interior Minister has visited Rwanda over this migrant plan. More than 45,000 people arrived in Britain by boat in 2022, and the government now is becoming even stricter on such illegal migrants who will be sent to Rwanda. Next, question number 3. Consider the following statements with regards to Magellan mission. Number 1. NASA's Magellan mission to Venus was one of the most successful deep space missions. Second, it was the first spacecraft to image the entire surface of Venus and made several discoveries about the planet. It was launched on May 4, 1989. Third, on October 30, 1994, communication with the Magellan was lost when it was instructed to descend into the atmosphere of Venus. Which of these given statements is or are wrong? All these given statements about NASA's Magellan mission actually are correct. The answer here would be D. None of the statements is wrong. The reason why we are discussing this question is because a Magellan spacecraft has given a record of volcanic activity on Venus. Researchers have identified evidence that there is active volcanism on the surface of Venus, and the images that have been sent by the Magellan spacecraft are considered as a good enough proof for that. They have identified volcanic vent which grew larger and shaped between two Magellan radar images which were taken 9 months apart. As you know, Many other countries are also considering a mission on Venus, including India. ISRO is planning a mission called the Shukryan for the same purpose, to identify more details about the Venus planet. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to PM Gati Shakti. Number 1. PM Gati Shakti Master Plan 2021 is a rupees 100 lakh crore project for developing holistic infrastructure. Second, integrated approach. It intends to bring together 16 infrastructure related ministries. Third, the PM Gati Shakti is based on 6 pillars: comprehensiveness, prioritization, optimization, synchronization, analytical, and dynamic. Which of these given statements about PM Gati Shakti is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All the 3 given statements are correct. As you would know, PM Gati Shakti is a highly ambitious infrastructure project by the Government of India, which will bring together as many as 16 infrastructure related ministries working in different sectors to give a push to infrastructure development all across the country. It will be a project worth 100 lakh crore. The reason why we are discussing this is a Hindu newspaper today carried this news, as per which 156 critical infra gap projects have been identified, which will be considered under the PM Gati Shakti program. The article tells you, since it was launched in 2021, 44 network planning group meetings have been held and 66 major infrastructure projects have been evaluated by the government. Next is a previous year question from 2020. In India, separation of judiciary from the executive is enjoined by the preamble of the constitution, the directive principles of the state policy, the 7th schedule, or is it a conventional practice? The correct answer here to this easy question is B. This is a part of directive principles of the state policy under which the state must make endeavors to ensure separation of judiciary from the executive. In fact, this is the reason why the Supreme Court is so adamant that they want the collegium system to continue. The Supreme Court does not want the collegium system to be replaced by something like the NJAC, because in situations where the government, that is the executive, would also play a role in appointing the judges, they think that this will go against the directive principles of the state policy. That is why the correct answer here is B. It is Article 50 that prescribes separation of judiciary from the executive. As you know, Part 4 of the Constitution from Article 36 to Article 51 talk about directive principles of the state policy. Next is a fact of the day, and today we will be discussing about an enzyme called Laccase. Now, as per this news article on the PIB, an enzyme called Laccase has generated potential in degrading industrial dye effluents, which is considered as a very important part of its application in the near future. Meaning that, in simple terms, it can actually help in purifying water which has been polluted by the industrial dye, and it will help in making the environment cleaner. So as you know, a lot of water pollution more specifically is because of the industrial effluents that are just given out and they become a part of the water supply without being treated. A lot of these water bodies contain dye that is used for industrial purposes. Now this enzyme can actually get rid of this dye and can degrade it at a much faster pace. Laccase is anyways known for its capacity to degrade various organic molecules. That is why the scientists were hoping that this application could also be found for the Laccase. So the textiles industry specifically, which use a lot of this dye, these industries would be positively impacted with this enzyme now. As per the scientists, combining ultraviolet or visible spectroscopy and other simulations have demonstrated that many organic dye molecules with varying kinetics now would be degraded by this enzyme called Laccase. Do remember, Laccase is generated by a group of fungi and contains 4 copper atoms in 2 different oxidation states, and it degrades the substances through the redox reactions. It produces only water and very simple non-virulent oxides of carbon, nitrogen and sulfur, and that is why it does not harm the environment. This is it for today's daily quiz video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day ahead. Jai Hind.